Hey YouTube. So we're coming towards the end of the year, and I finally have another update for y'all about what I plan to do with this channel and sort of what I'm doing in general going forward with my sort of public self, and particularly with tarot and astrology and some of those topics that I know a lot of folks follow me for. So I'm going to link below to a newsletter where I talked about my kind of journey and what happened over the summer and fall for me as I was thinking about my role in public life, particularly my role as a white identified person when we're at a time of trying to dismantle racist structures and systems and highlight BIPOC voices. I don't want to talk too much about myself and my process and like ramble on about my process, because I think that is actually a thing I have a tendency to do that goes contrary to what I would like for myself. And so I'm just gonna, like, I said it once, so I'm gonna link below if you want more information. But basically, to summarize really briefly, the change in how I show up is going to be less drastic than I thought at first. I'm still going to be on social media. I'm actually, in some ways, expanding parts of my social media presence and actually starting a magical business that I'm really excited about, which I think is going to happen gradually over time. But I am doing that. So yay, that's really exciting for me. But I am going to make some changes to how I show up in particular ways. For example, I know that deck reviews and talking about decks is actually some of my most popular content, but I decided that I didn't want to focus too much on decks and deck reviews generally, because I think it's kind of like there's this delighting in capitalism and like I bought the thing, that can be really alienating for folks who don't have access to resources. And I really don't want to perpetuate the cycle of like, oh, when I was broke, I was always envious of people who could buy stuff like this, and now that I have money, I'm gonna just do the same thing and kind of perpetuate that cycle and talk about how excited I am about decks I have and flaunt the money I have. That feels kind of weird to me. So, and also it's interesting because I, without saying too much yet, I expect my financial circumstances may change. And so, like, I think just what I do have a really exciting project actually coming up that I am not going to launch quite yet, so I'm not going to tell you about it quite yet, but it has to do with diversity and representation in decks. So I will be kind of showing my decks, but in a different way, in a more focused way, and that'll be on Instagram. So so there is that. That brings me to the fact that I do kind of have some issues with the platform of YouTube, and I would love if you're still watching and if you're subscribed, leave me a comment down below because I'm really curious about this. So basically, I feel like there's so many issues with YouTube, not just with monetized channels because I'm not monetized, but I'm realizing that there are issues that go beyond that with the platform. And I'm like, why am I on this platform? Like, why am I loyal to this platform? Why is this where I make videos? Now video content is relatively accessible in other places like TikTok and Instagram. Not to say those are necessarily better. I mean, Instagram's owned by Facebook, so no. But that said, it's also just a little more convenient for me to do Instagram. So I'm leaning towards focusing and narrowing my content a little more in terms of video content to do things like astrology teaching, which I know people are really interested in, accessible astrology stuff. Potentially continuing the Unproductive series. I do want to get into like productivity consulting for marginalized folks as part of my business, and like using tarot and astrology and productivity. I think that might be something of interest to some of y'all. So I probably will continue to do that in some form, and to do some tarot content, but it's going to be more focused, less kind of a rambling about my own experience, and more here, like when I have something specific to share, a specific insight that I've come up with. I have this like Mercury and Pisces tendency to just talk, and I want to kind of pull that back. And the other thing is that YouTube, I know, kind of prioritizes longer content, which I don't have time for as a watcher, let alone a creator. So I think I'm just wondering whether YouTube is the platform for me. So if you are subscribed, or if you're just watching this and you have an opinion, please leave a comment below and let me know how you feel about Instagram versus YouTube in terms of somebody who watches. If you prefer YouTube to Instagram, why? Any particular reason? And if I were to move most of my video content over to my Instagram, would you still be interested? Would that platform work for you, or is there a value in YouTube? Because I may continue to make like some YouTube videos. I'm certainly going to keep this up, but I think this channel is going to be a little more of a redirect to other channels, and of course you can still see my past content. But I'm curious how folks feel about that. Because it's just easier to get stuff recorded, to get stuff up on a consistent basis. And, I've been really good about the YouTube since I started YouTube, doing it twice a week until I took this hiatus. But it was taking up so much space to do that I'd like to have a little more space. So related to that, I want to give you a quick update. One, I mentioned that I'll link the newsletter below. I am starting up my monthly newsletter, so I'll also leave the link to how you can subscribe to that. That's the best way to find out about what is going on with this new business, what my offerings are going to be. There will probably be some specials, some access to specials under that. Although I will say that all of my offerings are going to have a specific sliding scale for BIPOC folks. So if you are a Black, Indigenous, and or person of color, just know that I will have that sliding scale for you at all times. But if that doesn't apply for you, I will do discounts and things through that newsletter, so be sure to sign up. I also want you to know that I have created both a Twitter and an Instagram under the name Queer Magical. So queer, Queer Magical. Did I say E-R? E-E-R. I can spell, really. Magical. That I'm separating out my kind of personal and business, or tarot astrology, like not just business stuff, but like it's not going to be like a bunch of ads about business. It's going to be all my tarot and astrology content, pretty much. I'm moving over to that. So if you do already follow me on Instagram at Avery Fawcett, that's going to be more like selfies and stuff. Feel free to continue, but Queer Magical is where you can find all the tarot and astrology stuff. I'll be announcing the new project over there, so please do give me a follow if you can. I would love to see you over there. I also, let's see, yep. Okay, and then one other thing I wanted to mention is that I have started a new, it's called the Community Care Discord, or the Community Care Hub, and it is a place for you to come on the Discord, share something that you need or something that you're willing to offer. And this is a non-transactional, anti-capitalist space. So it does not have to be a direct exchange. If there's something that you need, a friend to chat with, just somebody to help you with some sort of skill that's new to you. You're super broken or wondering if anybody could do a quick free tarot reading for you, anything, you can put it there. And you can also put things you can offer. So, are you willing to explain something about tarot to people? Are you maybe you're there to lend an ear? You can help people with their websites. I don't know what it is. Anything really. Nothing is too big or too small. Again, it's not a direct exchange thing. It's just give as you can, receive as you can, and really want to encourage the idea of mutual care and mutual community care, because self-care is not always enough, and especially in 2020. So I will also leave the join link below for the Discord. Keep in mind that you will get a little rules bot, and you do need to thumbs up the rules to get full access to the Discord. So I'll leave that link below. I think that really covers everything that I wanted to update y'all on. But please do, again, just leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this plan, if you're down with Instagram videos. And if for some reason you don't like Instagram videos, you'd prefer YouTube videos, I'd be really curious why, because I just don't know. So thanks so much, and everyone have a great day.